Welcome my friends to this online battle, and yes, I know, it's been a while. First and foremost, I'd like to apologise for the slight lack of content that's been going on lately. I've been very busy with some other projects which will be revealed, so I ask for your patience just a little bit longer. Anyway, NORSCA. Finally, I can post an online battle as NORSCA, which I've been waiting to do for a while, so let's have a look. I've got quite a spread out army, it might look a bit of a mess, but my front line is this. I've spread my units out because of the Empire. I was worried about Hellstorm rocket batteries destroying me if I was all clumped up. And I don't want my precious Marauder Berserkers, who are my front line, to be cooked, basically. So I've spread them all out for safety's sake. They do look freaking awesome. One of my favourite units, I think. Then what else have we got? I've got spears on the edges, of course. Just a typical cheapest spearman. I've got one in the middle, because obviously there's a lot of cavalry for the Empire. I've got one on the edges. On the right-hand side, I've got skin wolves to deal with cavalry, warhounds to deal with missile units, and some throwing axe missile cav to kite any heavy cavs like demigriffs or Reiksguard. Then in the middle, I've got two units of javelins. They are very, very strong, very, very dangerous to any kind of large unit or any kind of normal unit really, but mostly to large units because they are anti-large. One unit of great weapon Chaos Marauders in the centre. I just had the money left over and thought I could probably use some extra armor piercing in case there's great swords. But one of my biggest armor piercers is of course the Frostworm. I wanted to bring something large, but I didn't want to bring too much because I know the Empire have a lot of good anti-large, so I went for that as it's quite mobile. And my leader is me, basically, just a ginger version of me. Maybe slightly less intimidating looking, but yep, me on a horse. What else have I got? A Werkin hero, and I think that is about the lot. So that's my army, very spread out, looking huge from a distance and when you're being approached. And the Empire army looks very small in its main force, which is this. If you're looking out from here as the Empire, that looks pretty terrifying coming towards you. It looks huge because they're so spread out. That's kind of what I love doing, is making big armies and just overrunning people and making them terrified. So he's got spearmen at the front, just the regular ones, and two units of halberd. So he's obviously expecting a lot of large from me. And then he does have the Tattersalls here as well for a bit of melee needs. And there's an Archlector leading these troops. At the back he's got two Regiment of Renowned units, Sterling's Revenge and the Silver Bullets, who are both hidden. I can't see these units at the moment, so I didn't know they were there, as they do both have Stalk. Then he's got a rather unprotected mortar just on his flank, which is a bit curious. And then on his far right he's got another unit of halberdiers, which I assume are all the way out here because they're going to help out the cavalry, which is some non-anti-large demigriff and Zintler's Reiksguard. So he's got some strong cavalry, some strong range capabilities, but not great in the infantry. As he's brought a lot of anti-large, he was probably expecting me to bring mammoths and stuff. Maybe that's a thing online, people are spamming mammoths. I don't know, I haven't really played online for a while. This is where I discover that he's got missiles. My poor old Frostworm starts getting hammered by them, so I'm going to pull him out the way. He starts bringing his cavalry around the back to the other side, where I am launching a heavy flanking attack with my wolves and my cavalry. And anyone who knows me knows exactly what I'm trying to do with these wolves. I'm trying to go whoop, 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 right into the back of these missiles. That's who I'm looking for. Got a lot of units to get around though. He's brought his cavalry over in the way. I'm going to start to try and get right round them. I'm going out super wide. And then I'm going to, just going to nip past him. Oh, he's done him. He's done him. They've tried to block him, but they're too slow. They're off, and there's nothing between them and those tasty, tasty missile units. And the good thing about this as well is that I'm just keeping the missile units moving, so they're not firing at my berserkers, who I need. Oh, one of the units is out here, about to take a charge from two berserker units for some reason. I'm going to assume he micromanaged them. But my other ones are starting to chomp them down, but the demigriffs are on them, so they're not going to hang around too long. Go in already. But that's fine, we stop them firing on the berserkers. Frostworm coming in. A bit of extra munching power. I'm going to take the Werkin over to try and get in those demigriffs because he's anti-large. And those are not anti-large demigriffs, so they're not a massive threat to him. My berserkers are going to work now on these spearmen. They should have no trouble with them. Pretty good melee defense on spearmen, but not a lot else. Tattersalls over here might give us a little bit more of a run for our money, because they are kind of similar to berserkers with their lack of armor and just lots of damage output. On the right is a bit of a kerfuffly mess. I've got my skin wolves in here with halberds. They should not be there. I should pull them away as soon as possible. Trying to get after this mortar because it was still popping off. Got some spearmen on them. Throwing some javelins at their general. Bit pointless, but I'm just like that sometimes. Demigriffs coming in, smashing up. Oh yeah, I forgot about these. He's got some hidden, cheeky, sneaky bastard grenadiers, which were hidden off the map. I had no idea they were there. They came and rolled up, or maybe they started firing at my spearmen of all people. They should probably be going after my berserkers really, because they're the most danger to them. But a nice sneaky attack from him. Maybe a little bit late, because he's only just come to the battle when half of his army is dying. And he's right next to my Frostworm, which is just never a good idea. So, going well for us so far. Berserkers are racking up the kills. Now, I have a question, which I asked on my Patreon the other day. It's Warhammer 2 related. It's quite a simple one. Which faction do you want to see first as an army guide? I'll try to put a poll on this video so we can do it that way. I'm not really sure, I've never done it before, but I did it on my Patreon, and Skaven and Dark Elf seem to be the most popular, so I'm interested to see what more people would like and to get as many opinions as possible. Let me know on the poll if I can put it on. If not, drop it in the comments. My Skoomorphs here, I let them get charged by accident by some Reichsguard, but I did get the javelins on them. I've got my throwing axes doing alright here. They've got a nice few kills, 42 kills, just throwing it at these guys. They're not really giving a frick. Just taking axes to the back of the head. Cool. Grenadiers over here have just been thoroughly shattered by my Frostworm and myself on a horse. Bit of a shame for him that he didn't get more use out of them. He really should have got them behind my Berserkers. They would have absolutely shredded them, blown them to pieces. I'm going after his general now though. I'm sending Wulfric and the Werekin to go and get all up in that Archlector's grill. Struggling here a little bit. He got in a charge just now with his Demigriff, so I think I missed it. Unless it's going to happen later. But he got in a little bit of a rear charge, which is really what he should be doing, because he's got that strong cavalry. And there's so much space for him to move around and get behind my units. He could absolutely destroy me with cav rear charges, but he hasn't really done that. He's been more focused on trying to save his missiles and stuff for some reason. Getting some throwing axes on these halberdiers. More back of the head axe action. Back of the head axe action. I feel like that should be the slogan for my channel. Going to jump on here. I'm going to try and drop Wulfric's ability that drops their melee, or drops a hero or lord's melee defense down by like 60, which is just insane. I think I dropped that on him, on their Archlector. Over here, my Frostworm is just terrifying everything. These units have been scared off, I'm pretty sure, by the Frostworm's terror. And the Zinter's Reichsguard aren't going to last much longer either. And as you can see, it's pretty much over. We've run them through. Their infantry was not enough. Like I said, I think he just needed to use his cavalry a bit better. As I had my army so spaced out with the worry of artillery, it does leave you with a lot of gaps when you do that. So it's kind of a risky tactic, and if there's a lot of cavalry, you can be in trouble. But he only brought 2 units of cavalry, so it wasn't a big deal. But yeah, he missed the opportunity to get lots of rear charges on me there, which would have absolutely destroyed my infantry because they have no armor, no melee defense. That would have taken my Berserkers to town. Tattersouls were his best performing unit. Lots of kills for them. We kept his missiles from doing anything really. His cavalry did pretty good. Still could have done a lot better though. They definitely could have been over 100 kills if they were smashing my Berserkers in the back. Artillery, completely wasted time. My Berserkers, of course, the stars of the show. Tons of kills. They were the danger. They are what he needed to take out. He obviously came with thinking that I was going to bring a lot of large units though, like I said. So it's just kind of a matchup build that won here more than anything else. But I think he did have the opportunity to win, potentially. So if he'd managed to take out my Berserkers with his cavalry and with those grenade cavalry and stuff, I don't think I would have had a lot left that would have been able to take out the rest of his army. My Frostworm would have struggled against all the spears. The missiles probably would have been taken down by their missiles. And as for me, a few micromanaging errors. I probably should have done a bit more to get their cavalries dead, because they were kind of running rampage around me a little bit. But I probably should have put more focus on them, as they were his main strength. Either way, we managed to win this one. Good game to my opponent. NORSCA are freaking awesome. I've been loving them online. I had about 6 online battles in a bid to get an online battle for the channel. This was probably the best one of the bunch. But yeah, loving the Norskans, and I will, of course, yes, I will, don't even ask, I will do a NORSCA army guide at some point. However, Warhammer 2 is of course on the horizon, a couple of weeks away now, so I'm going to be doing some stuff for that. May put NORSCA on the back seat a little bit, but eventually they will get done. Anyway, I've rambled enough. Thanks for watching, I hope you've enjoyed this. I'll see you in the future.